Are we just going from here, or we just?
Yeah, act natural.
Oh,
Like,
okay. So I just
yeah. Go ahead.
let's just start off there. Actually, let's do your laugh. Like,
I'm just trying to act natural.
what's
Go
the?
ahead though.
All right. So I had bought some La Russell tickets, and I like how he did it. He set it up. He always on this independent grind. He's really with the consumer, the people who support him. He support them, giving them money back. I've heard him doing,
Oh,
but
really?
yeah, he said he's done that. Like he always about the profits that he get. He likes to give back to his fans. He feel like they're a part of it. And I had bought some tickets for his show here in Houston coming up in September. And this is the first time I ever seen this with any other artist. You can actually set your own price of how much you want to pay for the ticket to go, and then the artist will accept that price or not. So I thought that was dope. I've never seen that
Hmm.
before, and I wonder if more artists would start doing that.
And so I'm assuming these are all for GA tickets,
The
right?
whole venue's GA,
Okay.
so
Mm.
there's no other option. It's just saying you pick your price for the ticket, and that's what it is.
I'm gonna make an assumption and assume that you
Intimate.
paid like $1.
Me?
Yeah.
I paid a good 10. Like I didn't think I was gonna get in, but I got in. He accepted that shit like literally in like 10 minutes. I was like $10, 10
$10?
minutes,
No fees, just 10. A 10
just
ball.
10. The straight 10 ball. Like just to go to his
Mm.
show. But then I was thinking, I was like, he ain't that big of an artist anyway. So
The
I was
10
like, is
ball is
that really
crazy.
even a bad price? I'm like, maybe.
Well, that's really like
I
buying the
don't know.
album
I
though.
feel like that's a good thing about I feel like I'm a part of his consumers, like who he would want to be there. Like if he was gonna pick anybody to come to his show, like I'll be the one he want to be there. So I can understand that $10. Like I get it.
I will say, oh, go ahead, go ahead.
Well, two thoughts. Number one, I'm curious how many people he gets in the venue. Because if it's, most people are spending $10, let's say on average, but you are able to pack that out, you know.
I feel like I'm on the low end. I feel like some people probably really cashed him out.
Well, so that was the other thing I was going to say. When you bought your tickets, does he collect like your email, phone number, any information like that?
Yeah, you just put in your email, everything with your card information, stuff like that, of course, and that's it.
The reason why I ask is that I know that there are more and more artists who are becoming aware of like selling their tickets directly so you can hold on to your fans' information. So, for example, I did this with the show for Tony coming up. I had to fill out a ton of information, like city I live in and all different information, so that when they had shows coming up, I get alerts.
Mm.
And what La Russell is going to be able to do with this information now is he'll be able to see like, okay, Rob will spend $10 on me, but Matt's willing to spend 200. I know Matt is a super fan.
Mhm.
So the next time I come to town, I want to promote my shows more with people like Matt who are going to spend $200 on me.
Not no cheap nigga spending $10 on a ticket
Whoa,
for
whoa,
a
whoa,
one
whoa,
hour
whoa,
show.
whoa, whoa.
That's crazy.
I
Come on
think
now.
I think it's for the love, and he knows not all his consumers can pay that price tag. He has high schooler fans. He has middle schooler fans. Not everyone has a job and they
Nigga,
can
you
pay
a
the
grown ass
price.
man. Shut up. Somebody he got high school fans.
Like I'm not mad. We're not gonna sit here and call them broke. Like some people can't afford it, and they
No,
really do support him.
and I don't
Like
think
I
that.
paid what I wanted to pay.
That's funny as hell.
I Yeah, I don't think he's calling them broke. I'm just saying it gives him an idea of like having information on, okay, when I do go on tour next time and maybe I'm renting out a bigger venue, like how can I price in what size venue I can get based on how much money I think I'm going to be able to sell tickets for. He might start selling tickets where he has to set a price, but he knows the average person who's a fan of mine might be willing to spend $25. They're not going to spend $100 for me. I think this gives him some good information about his fans if he's able to own that data and not have
And I
Ticketmaster
feel like
on it.
also the fact that I paid $10 for the ticket, I might buy a shirt. I'm definitely gonna
True.
buy food and drinks at the venue, so I'm gonna support that way. I'm coming to the show. So there's other ways he's gonna get his bread from me. Possibly. If the merch is fire, like then he got me.
No, I do like this though. I love that the power is back in that artist's hands in this situation, because we all know record labels be, man, it's crazy, the deals, the 360. So I just love that Lil Russell is able to like really get that, and like you said, like having address information and like all that, like that's, I love that aspect of it. But man, this is the Motherfucking Friends podcast, man. Thank you so much for
Say
joining
that
us
one
once
more
again.
time.
This is the motherfucker. I want to really yell, but I can't yell. This is the Friends podcast, man. Thank you so much for joining us once again, man. My name is Matt, and I'm here with my two co-hosts.
What's up, y'all? It's Jay.
And this is Rod, and this is the Friends Podcast. Make sure you check us out. We're streaming everywhere: YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio. Also, make sure you go pick up that merch. We're streaming everywhere. Go check that
TFP
out.
for life.
Most definitely. So
the new Wu-Tang.
You feel me?
So this week, a lot of people were expecting that Drake's album was going to come out. The new album, was it For All the Dogs? He teased the album cover a couple days ago that his son drew, and a lot of us, people like myself, were like waiting at midnight to see the album come out. And it just made me think about.
Can we pause right there? I just saw some recent posts from Lil Yachty and Drake. Drake said ha 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 ha, and that's all he gave to the people who thought the album was coming out. Lil Yachty came out with a message saying, "We never said the album was coming out. We never said that." And then he laughed.
Has said it was coming out for 2 weeks, for like a month now.
And Amazon literally tweeted something that said, we're looking forward to this shit, whatever. And they literally posted this picture with Drake going to get body wash and Lil Yachty on his knees. And he was like, I didn't really get the context.
Can you pull up this picture for us?
Oh yeah. It's right. It's showing.
Who posted it? Drake posted it?
Did Drake post it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't follow Drake every move like you do. Go ahead.
No, actually, this was posted on Up Rocks Music, their Instagram.
Okay.
Let's pull up that picture. Yeah, Lil Yachty's doing a pose right in front of Ice Spice body wash.
Wait, she got body
wash? Ice Spice has body wash?
Not Ice Spice, but what is it?
Old Spice?
Old Spice.
Oh, okay.
Dove.
Oh
yeah, okay. Lil Yachty thinks y'all stupid for believing Drake's album was coming out today, but found a silver lining.
Damn, I can't really read this text right here. Joke's on y'all because nobody ever said it was. Got to stop believing shit you see on the internet. But you said it.
Joke's on y'all.
And then it was crazy that he dropped on the day Drake was supposed to drop. So that was interesting to me. But it is this post.
Drop?
Yeah, he just dropped yesterday on Friday.
I didn't know.
I think he dropped an EP called Tesla, if I'm not mistaken. It's either a single or EP called Tesla. He just dropped when Drake shit was supposed to drop. So that's what's going on.
Think that was a rollout for Lil Yachty?
Probably.
Yeah, kind of seemed like it. But Jermayne,
he should at least put out a single or something. Yeah, like why not?
Man, good point.
I hope the album is better than Search and Rescue.
You ain't like Search and Rescue?
Nah.
Actually, I like that. Well, I'm a singing Drake fan. Yeah, I'm a singing Drake fan though, so that's maybe why. but like I was rocking with it. And the Kim K sample in the middle of it, like just throwing shots. He's still throwing shots for some reason.
But yeah, Jermaine, go ahead and go keep going what you're talking about.
Well, the fact that so many people were disappointed in his album not being out after we thought it was going to come out on Friday, it made me think about artists that we actually want to hear new music from and who are we cool on getting a new album from. I can say for myself as an example, Frank Ocean was teasing a new album at Coachella back a couple months ago. We haven't gotten that album yet. And to be honest, I'm not really waiting on it or checking for it. And I'm a big Frank fan, but I would be okay not getting any more new albums from Frank. I'm cool with that.
I feel you. Like I ain't gonna lie. Like pause. Like I'm kind of obsessed with Frank Ocean music, so it's like I want to hear it because the singles that he dropped after Blonde, like Provider, Chanel, Biking, like that's some of his best music that he's ever made to me personally. And like I just kind of wanted, I would be interested to hear what that album could have been, like the post Blonde album. Like I just want to hear it, And it's also one of the greatest songwriters of our time to me personally. I would say objectively, but some people may disagree. But he's one of the greatest songwriters. So it's like that's one of the people where it's like I kind of want to hear what you got to say now, with all your life experiences.
So is this question based on Frank or just in general, what artists that we want to hear from or that we don't care we hear from again?
Just in general.
Do you have somebody in mind, Rod, that you want to hear from? Or let's start with don't want to hear from again.
I mean, if I'm starting off at the Frank Ocean, yeah, Jermaine's crazy. I definitely want to hear Frank Ocean again. He's not the person that I would be like, I would start off saying, hey, I don't want to hear nothing else from him. There's plenty of other people I would pick before Frank Ocean and say, hey, I don't want to hear nothing.
Well, it's not that I don't want to hear it, but like I'm not actively waiting on it. I'm not going to be like checking my phone to see when a new Frank Ocean album drops today versus like 5 years ago. Oh yeah, that was me.
But I'm not mad if he does drop though. Like if he does drop something, like I will be very happy. Me personally, at least. Is that what? So you wouldn't be happy about that, Jermaine, if he drops?
No, I would be happy. I'm just saying there are a lot of artists like him who do that for years. Like I'm gonna drop something. I'm working on something. Expecting that fans are going to keep growing in anticipation. And for me, there's a certain point where like I'm not going to anticipate it more. I'm not going to be waiting for it anymore. If it comes, it comes. But like I don't need the new music anymore because I've kind of I'm enjoying your old catalog, or I've found other artists who give me that same feel, who are actively putting out music. Like for me, I'll give you the opposite side of things. Like I need a new Future album. Like to me, nobody gives me what Future gives me. So I always need a new Future album. I feel that same way about like Chris Brown.
That's interesting. I would say for me, I feel like the people I'd be wanting to hear from, like I wish I had nothing. I'm gonna cheat a little bit. It's like dead people, like people that can't make no other album. Like, I want to hear those. I know it's like a cop out, but like it's a lot of like people that's dead that I just would love to hear another album that they created in peace, not like a posthumous album. If I had to say like an active artist, I'm good on Rihanna. I'm good on another Rihanna album. I think Anti was good enough. I'm good on Rocky too, though. I ain't gonna lie. I'm good on Rocky.
Man, that's kind of how I've taken this whole category. I'm like, man, this is just an open opportunity for people just to hate.
No. It ain't hate.
Like talking about artists that I don't care if they drop another album. Like I could do that. like I feel like that, I thought like that's what we're doing here. Like, we're trying to be political correct. Ask the question like, if I don't hear from them, because I feel like that's disrespect to the artist saying, man, I ain't gotta hear nothing else from you. Like,
if I'm understanding Jermaine correctly, it's like, oh, I'm a fan of this person, but like I don't need another one.
Yeah, like what you said about Rihanna is a perfect example. I know that there are people in the Navy who are always in her comments like, where's the album? Where's the album? Where's the album? I can still replay Auntie and I'm content.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't necessarily need a new album if I'm content with the catalog you already created. Or if you want to take it there, right, it could just be people you don't want to hear from again because you don't rock with them.
I mean, if I was gonna be safe, my question,
No.
my answer would be, it would be like all the older rappers, like 2 Chainz ain't gotta drop nothing. Juicy J ain't gotta drop nothing. Lil Baby don't have to drop nothing.
Now, Lil Baby, that's one right there we need to talk about.
Lil Baby?
He dropped enough.
Damn, it's like that.
Already. Now
Like
that's what's
Andre
sick.
3000.
Whoa.
You just be saying
Like
shit.
he doesn't have to drop anything. No, we're just talking about people who don't have to drop anymore. And I'm not saying I wouldn't love
Okay.
to have that album. Like
Okay.
I'm not hating, but this is my safe answer. But if I just start naming off people I don't want an album from,
Mhm.
oh, there's plenty of people I never want to hear from again.
I want to
Like
hear those
who?
But I'm
people.
gonna let y'all go ahead.
You about to shit on the whole industry.
Like who?
No, so you about to shit on the whole industry.
No, I'm not
Shit.
shitting on the whole industry. There's a lot of artists I like, but
See, I was gonna say Andre 2000 is one of the exceptions for me. I want to still hear music from him. I want an album from him. I know he's been teasing an album for literally like probably 15 years now that he's working on stuff.
Mhm.
But I think the fact that we got The Love Below, but we've never really gotten a full, just like dedicated Andre 3000 solo, not connected to Big Boy album. I would really love to hear that, especially in today's modern context, like kind of his 444. Like, what's your adult take on music today? What's your old man wisdom you can give today? I think would be really dope.
And you know the thing about Andre, he'll drop a verse every now and again that kind of tell us how he feeling, though, which is interesting. But yeah, I would love to hear a whole project of just him, just his musings, his thoughts. Another person I was listening
anybody
to.
else like Matt? Like you didn't really get into it. So who don't you want to hear?
I already
Or
said
who you good on?
Rihanna. I'm good on Rihanna. I'm good on Rocky. I'm good on. I think you made a lot of good points. Like Chains, I'm good
What
on
about
Chains.
Absol?
I ain't listened to Absol last album, so I might be good on Absol too, to be honest. But
Um,
go ahead.
G Herbo?
No, I'm listening to another G Herbo. I would love to hear some more G Herbo.
Anthony
Um,
Pack?
who?
Or
You mean
like
Anderson
Anderson
Paak?
Pack?
Oh,
Yeah,
Anderson Paak.
Anderson Pack.
I
I'm
might
just
be
looking at the
good.
freshman double XL people. Like I'm
Okay.
just for the listeners.
I
I'm
might
just
be
throwing out
good.
names.
Because he already dropped a lot of good music. I might be good. I might be good on Anderson.
Oh, there's a
Some
lot of people on this cover. Oh, Corday. I don't need another album.
I
I'm
could
good.
never hear anything from him again. I'd be fine.
Yeah, I'm good on Corday.
Now that one is hate. I'm not gonna lie. That's why I just don't put it in my phone. No, thank you.
Let me
And
take
there's
it.
a lot of hate I can really do, but that's not what this is about.
Let's talk about what we love. So, okay. Well, now I'm gonna hate a little bit again too. So, Lauryn Hill, I'm good. Like that one album was good enough. But somebody else who's very spaced out with their albums is D'Angelo. I was listening to the Black Messiah this week, and I would love to hear another D'Angelo album. It's been 9 years. D'Angelo, if you're
How old
listening,
is he?
I don't know. He got to be pushing 50 at this point.
You want to hear another album from a 50-year-old?
Yes, it's different because it's not 50-year-old rap. It's 50-year-old R&B soul. That's different.
So
Yeah,
their
he's
voice ain't
49.
what it was back in the day.
I just want to
Like
hear
their
it because
voice is like went through a lot of turmoil in life.
yeah,
Like a 50-year-old trying to sing.
I mean, if you listen to the difference between Brown Sugar, then Voodoo, then Black Messiah, it's like it's three totally different albums. And so like I just want to hear what would it be at 50? Like I want to hear what he would come up with. That's just my take though. Um so other than that, a lot of other old niggas, I'm good. I'm good. Let me see. Yeah. That's damn near all I can think of. But all right. I want to move into go ahead.
I was just gonna add one more to the old rappers list.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big fan of Jeezy, but I don't need another Jeezy album after this last Gangster Grills. I'm like, mm-mm.
And Gucci Mane, we good. I'm definitely good on Gucci Mane. His shit been, man.
Cole, another one that we good on. Like he dropped enough.
I feel like I need to
I
hear.
think I'm good.
I know you
I
good.
I heard enough.
I know you good. I want to hear the fall off though. I do want to hear the fall
I
off.
think we already heard the fall off, and I think we're good.
Let's move on. Talk about you want to be politically correct. No, but let's move on. You want to get into that story, right?
Oh yeah. So one of my homies, he went out on his first date, and she brought along a special trooper. It was her 4-year-old child, and they went out to a nice brunch, and she was turning up. She was taking them shots, doing the mimosa back to back to back. The
Straight
kid
to the
was
head.
getting, she was getting super reachy. The kid was getting reachy towards the drinks. After it, old girl went out and had a blunt fest like she was Wiz Khalifa. Like, I guess I'm just kind of wondering, how do we feel about first dates, and is something like this acceptable, or is it a big deal? Like, your first date, at least you had a child.
Let me say this and let's kick it off. I respect the fact that she just put it all out there because oftentimes people don't do that on the first date, but she really let dude she really let him know who she was, and I respect that.
The real is back.
Now, how do I feel about it? Now, how would I react? That's a different story. I'm gonna let y'all go first on that one because yeah, how would y'all feel about that if that happened to y'all?
Oh, I think it's man, there's so many levels to it. To me, it says a lot about her. Not only that she like brought the kid on a first date, not like a couple dates, and then we kind of got a little bit cool. I told you I have a kid, like first date, and then to like be taking shots, the mimosas, smoking a blunt. To me, it just says it tells you a lot about what type of parent she is. Like, yo, if we had a kid together, she is gonna be true to who she is around the kid. Like, there are no boundaries. Um, if a man did that to me on a first date, I would think, why didn't you just like reschedule? Like, that's what I
Yeah,
don't understand. Like, do you not have a babysitter? Like, there's nobody who you were like, yo, can I come drop little buddy off for a couple hours?
I feel that, but I feel like the reason you're saying that, well, one because you don't want to be around no damn kid at a first date, but I feel like maybe you would feel like you would have to tiptoe around conversation, like you can't have the real conversations.
For sure. I would feel like the whole day needed to be like, so what's happening on Disney Channel right now? Hey, have you seen Cars too, buddy? Like, I
Uh-huh.
don't think we would even be able to get to know each other for real.
But I think in her case, she already showed her kid everything, so it's like you could probably really talk about anything with her.
Yeah, she was talking about her ass, talking about how big it is right in front of her kid, and the kid ain't gonna know. Like, when he get older, like, he's
He
4.
gonna
The kid's
he gonna
He's
go
4.
to
four.
He
He
ain't gonna
can
remember this.
develop
he
memories.
gonna go to school like my mom said she had a fat ass. Like, definitely getting the parents call. Um,
Did she lie though?
I ain't seen it. I don't know.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, if it was, it's like you can't really get in trouble for that. Like,
She's telling the truth. What we talking about? The real is back. You feel me? But damn, how would I react? I think that would definitely be my last time seeing her because we're at the age where like, and obviously we've been at the age where people can get pregnant, like obviously. But like, if I was really involved with her, like, and I seen how she interacts and how she raises her child, which I'm not one to tell people how to do they shit, but I know how I would raise my kids, and it's not like that. So
Mhm.
That would be the last time I will see her. If I did see her again, I'm definitely
So
making sure wrapping it up. Go ahead.
if you were on the date, you wanted to did the drinks with her or smoke
Oh yeah, I would have
or
definitely. Hell yeah.
Because that's not his kid. Yeah. Like, we
it's
going
like
Right.
I see you. I see everybody want to take a higher ground, but it's just like we protecting and everything the bullshit. Like I definitely would have been there, just like, hey, it's your world. Like
Hmm.
I'm not gonna change. Like
Of
I'm
course,
gonna
I'm
do
gonna
everything in
partake.
front of your kid.
Hell yeah, because I don't got to deal with the ramifications of it. But that's why I'm saying I'm gonna do it, and I'm blocking you like immediately. Like
Even if
don't
she was
even.
funny or a cool person, like
Yeah, we too old. We too old to be. Like I said, people can get pregnant, and if I had a kid with that person, then like she gonna be.
That's what she is.
Yeah, like she's who she is. Like I can't really change how she parents. Like these are
I,
discussions
I
that you
mean,
have.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that.
No, okay.
If you were to get with that person, you could kind of direct how your child is handled. If you were with her, like you can be like, hey, like no, I'm not gonna like we're not doing that. Like I don't know. I feel like as a man, you could step in and say, we're not drinking and smoking and doing all that shit around my kid. Like you could step in and be like, at least around me, like you're not gonna do that.
Come on now. Let's be for real. Like, what's the point in
I'm
going
being
through
for
that?
real. I would say no. Like
You can say no, but what's the point even going through that turmoil of like that drama of like, oh nah, this is how I want to raise the kid, you know?
And I already been doing this with Prince Aiden, and he turned out fine. So why can't I smoke in front of our kid?
Right.
What you
Exactly.
talking about?
she's a single person. I'm speaking of her in a relationship though, like in a relationship with someone. Like I doubt she would have the same type of actions in a relationship. Maybe I'm speaking too highly of someone, but
I think you got enough. I think you got too much faith in people. I think people are who they are, especially she is a whole adult. I mean, of course, people can change, but
My philosophy is always like, if parenthood didn't change you already, nothing a partner can do is going to change you. To me, having a kid should be, if anything, the moment where you're like, oh, shoot, I got to grow up, or maybe I need to handle situations a little bit different, or I need to really be mindful of how my actions affect other people because that's going to affect my kid in the long run. If having a child doesn't already make you do that, I don't know if having a partner is really going to have that big of an effect on you.
because I feel like hierarchy is what, like, I would say if you're a person, your hierarchy is probably your child, your spouse, and then your family, like your parents or whatever. So like if you're already not doing that for your child, like what you gonna listen to me for? You know what I mean? Yeah, I could be like, oh, I'm a lead, I'm the leader, like follow my program, but like, what's the point of even going? Like, what's the point of even having those conversations when you already know that's how they kicking it?
yeah. And I mean, speaking of families, let's get a little bit into like drinking culture and some of our experiences of drinking around our family. Did we do that? Was that a yes or no? In our introduction to drinking and drugs and things like that, and our background with our families.
You want to go first, right?
No, go ahead, man.
Well, I'm long-winded, so I'm probably gonna say a lot of things here. But so growing up, that wasn't really a thing in my household. Like I never seen my parents drink. We never been to family functions where people was drinking, and to my knowledge, and I'm pretty sure like I was right. I'm pretty sure nobody was drinking, smoking. I seen my cousin
No
smoking black
holidays,
out.
no nothing.
Nothing, nothing at all. Like no, nothing. Even if we went out to a
Boring,
restaurant, I mean, yeah, I
boring.
agree. I agree. I agree. I didn't mind it though. Like, I mean, I wasn't supposed to be drinking back then anyway, so it was like I didn't see it as boring back then. Um, I only seen my cousin smoking black and mild like one time, and I love the smell. I don't know about y'all, but like the smell of wine, black and milds, like
Mm.
it's just like cemented in my brain. Maybe from that that interaction, but yeah.
Was
So
a
that's
wood
kind of
tip.
how I grew up. Well, I don't know what he was smoking back then,
He
but
was
the
like, "Let me
what's
hit that, big bro." Let me hit that
I
cuss.
was like 8 or 10. Like, so no, I didn't say that. But I was like definitely maybe
Like that shit
single
tasting
digits.
real good right now, you know? Like,
The
let me get
smell,
that black
oh
and
my
mild.
god. I might go get a black and
I need
mild
a
after
taste.
this. I ain't gonna hold you. I smoked the black and mild like what, like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I was like, I
Mm.
hate myself. Why did I do this shit? That shit is terrible. That shit is bad. Like I just threw that shit out the window. I say all this to say I didn't really see any examples of these types of things like drink, party, smoke, all that type of things like in my childhood. But when I went to college, it was just like, oh, we doing this. Like you know what I'm saying? I kind of got I ain't gonna say peer pressure because I wanted to do it, but I started smoking, started drinking, and it was a time. It was definitely a time. So like let's talk about y'all experiences though. Like
Fucking heathen.
is it I don't know what it is. You know how they say about shelter kids, it's like they kind of like they when they pop out, it's like, oh yeah, like we better take it there. Plus one.
Yeah, you took
So
it there,
let's
huh? To the window, to the wall.
to the motherfucking
Hey.
wall. You feel me? So let's talk about y'all experiences though. So like I'm pretty sure it's not similar to mine, but let's talk about it and see like where we are now, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'll go ahead. My experience definitely was the opposite. Um, yeah, my family, they turned up. They drank, uh, they smoked at pretty much every family gathering. They get loud. We play games. We have a good time. There's good music. Pretty typical gatherings in my family. There's people from all walks of life, people not doing so well, people who are, and yeah, I mean, we just get together, have a good time, love. I think my experience is pretty typical black experience. Um,
Mhm.
but
What
yeah, I mean
age
that's how my walk of life was. So
at what age did you start to drink at the family functions?
I didn't do that until like after college, like when I really had the saying, "Hey, I'm gonna get a drink" or whatever. Didn't really care of any opinions. Was definitely after college when I got over 21, and my fan wouldn't say anything for real. Um, yeah, I didn't really drink or anything like kind of similar maybe to Matt's story until college. I didn't drink or smoke or partake in any type of drugs or try things. I feel like college was a very experimental time for me. I kind of realized what I liked and what I didn't like very quickly. So yeah, I mean that was my experience.
I would say my experience was almost identical to Matt's. Like I never saw anybody drink, smoke, anything like that. Um, that was very, very, very foreign to me. Um, and it's really interesting when you go to a big party school. I don't want to say like the culture shock because I think you kind of expect for people to like drink and stuff in college, but I don't think I realized how normal it was for people until I got to college. I remember my freshman year roommate, um, like bringing in bottles, even like while her parents were there. And I'm like,
It's
oh, like
crazy.
she's letting her parents know that she drinks and she's 18.
Wow. Yeah,
Um,
I was confused that too. I went to a white family's house and they had like a keg, just drinking beers. I was like, oh shit.
yeah, that was wild. I remember my first week moved into my dorms. My roommate, I had like a little campus job. This was before school had even like officially started. And so I was going to my little like campus job and I came back late one night and she was like, it's wine Wednesday. And like she had wine. It was like sermon wines, everybody. And I'm like, what? Like, and I had maybe drank like one time in my life before that. And so the fact that like she was just doing it so openly was truly mind boggling to me. Even when I think back to like freshman year in college, I feel like I think particularly for Black people, drinking is such a low key thing. I don't know, maybe if it was just me, maybe it's because
What?
we're Well, I mean, like more worried about like MIPs and stuff like that. We're more secretive. Like, hey,
What?
you got the ID, you go get the bottle. Versus, I feel like white people, it was very like, oh, my cousin is also at MSU. He's a senior. He's 21. He's going to get us bottles, or my mom's just going to give me a bottle when she comes to visit. She's going to drop off some alcohol. I don't know. They just didn't seem to be worried about like MIPs and stuff like that, which was really interesting to me. I was always scared about that.
Definitely had a white friend who was older who could buy the drinks. That is an interesting thing. I didn't think about that. Did y'all ever like go to the store and bought like drinks for someone younger, like while in school?
Never.
No
I
way. I
wouldn't even do no shit like that, because that's automatic jail time.
That's what I mean. Like, white people aren't even worried about stuff like that. They just live it.
They don't be worrying. Like, 'cause I remember being in the dorms as a freshman, and like we would go down the hall, and then the older dude, we would be like, "Can you buy us a bottle of Burnett's?" And like he would go buy it, and then we would split it up, put it in water bottles. Like, I remember that, and it was not a black person that was doing.
Oh
that.
my god,
Nope.
Burnett's was the devil.
Burnett, the original for Locos. That was an interesting time.
Man, I'm
was
so
it,
mad
5
I messed up.
o'clock?
5 o'clock.
Oh my god, that was
E&J.
death.
I remember that same night. No, I can't say that. Never mind. I can't say. No, but yeah, that shit was crazy. That was a crazy time. So do you know what's interesting, and I want to take this conversation in this direction, is like, so like we just spoke about our experiences growing up and stuff, and it's like I think about how they affected like how I would act when I was free, like when I was able to do the things that I did. And I had a lot of nights where it was like, yeah, like you shouldn't have went that crazy. Like I had a lot of like I always tell the story about how I fell asleep in that bush on Harrison, or was it Michigan Ave? Somebody had to give me an Uber. Or even recently when I was just like fell asleep on a nigga balcony, like randomly at 2 a.m. Like it's still something that like I can control it, but at the same time I might go a little hard with the alcohol sometimes. So it's like sometimes I wonder, is like if I would have known about it and seen it as a kid and like maybe experienced it a couple times, like would I have been more I guess used to it, or just like would I've already known my my limit? Do y'all feel that way sometimes? Like y'all upbringing informs like how y'all drink now?
Personally, I do. I think I might have mentioned this before in the pod, but my dad has a friend who's white, and when his daughter was getting ready to go to college, she was also going to go to MSU. He like intentionally got her super drunk. Like, hey, we're going to chill at the house and drink a bunch of beers or shots or whatever, and let her get drunk at the house to have the experience of knowing like what it felt like to be drunk and how much you can drink before you're drunk and stuff like that. And looking back, yeah, I think it would have been helpful to have an experience like that before being totally left up to your own devices, where you're now like around sometimes people who aren't super trustworthy, especially as a woman, like you might be in some unsafe situations. I think just having the awareness of like the little things, like how many shots are reasonable to drink, like how mixing affects his things, how chasing affects his things. I wish I had some of that heads up before, just especially going to like such a big party school like MSU.
Yeah, like that was definitely part of the culture. Was like we gonna drink. I mean, the tailgate was literally right outside our dorm. I think you stayed at Case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that tailgate that was right there by the tennis courts. Like,
oh yeah,
every Saturday, like they out there drinking
from like 8 a.m.
Mm-hmm. St. Patrick's Day getting up at 6 a.m.
I ain't been at a tailgate in a minute. Have y'all been to one?
I know. Nah.
It's been some years.
Last time I went was last year. Go ahead though.
I was gonna say, even that, like if you look at tailgates, you'll see like families where it's a mom, dad, and they'll have their 16-year-old kid up there or whatever. And they just get to learn like, hey, if you're gonna drink all day, like you gotta eat, you gotta have something in your stomach versus
they're gonna drive.
Wait, what you mean?
You mean like the parents are gonna drive?
No, the teenagers. That's why they there.
Oh, right.
Like I'm buying
Oh,
them a ticket so they can be my designated driver, and I can
Mhm.
get fucked up as much as I want. That's exactly what
yeah,
I'm doing with my kids.
I feel it.
I'm not mad at that. But they get to see, like, yo, my parents were eating all day. They were, still doing stuff to kind of make sure they don't get too crazy. Versus if you've never seen that, and then you all of a sudden, like you said, it's right outside your door, and you see people drinking at 8 a.m. It's like, cool, okay, let me start taking shots. Let me start drinking. And you don't even realize, like, you are gonna be sick. You can't do this all day. Like, you gotta pace yourself. You gotta eat something. You gotta drink some water, unless you want to completely, be down for the count by noon.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of how I even learned, to your point, Jermaine. Like, you learned what's the rules of, like, don't mix dark and light, don't, your limits, or being crossfaded. Like, don't do too much
Mhm.
when you high and drunk. Like, I don't really. I feel like I learned about trial and error.
Same every time. Every time.
Yeah, like, but I think
I
that's
still didn't
okay.
learn that.
No,
Nah.
I feel that. I definitely still mix. Like, I don't care. I still don't care. That's probably a bad thing, but
But at least now if I mix, I know it's gonna come from that.
that's true. That's true. So yeah, I don't know. Like, 'cause I don't think that, like, obviously, like I said, I didn't hear about it growing up. So I don't think in college I was asking people, like, how do you drink? Or, like, what should I do? I just feel like it was just maybe word of mouth, or man. So I don't know. I don't know.
It was
Yeah,
just regular conversation. Like amongst I feel like college students, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, don't mix dark and light." Just like the older you get, you just start to hear more things and more tips from people.
mhm.
I feel like all that was just an experience of college and going through trial and error. Like a lot of the drinking things that I learned, at least.
Looking back at it, like, that should not have been allowed to be as drunk as we was. Like, we was literally in the dorms.
I don't
Well, I ain't
take
gonna say
nothing
we.
back.
It wasn't me, so I can't take anything back. But, like, being in the dorms doing the case race. Do you know what a case race is?
no.
I think it's where you take like 2 30 cases of beer, and then, like, you drink them as fast as possible or something like that. And I think it's like teams,
Wow.
but, like, I
You ever
don't know
did
if
a
y'all I'll go
like or a
say
keg
what.
stand? You ever did that?
Hell no,
Uh-uh.
doing
When
no
they put
damn
you
cake
upside
stand.
down and
Did
you
you
get
do
to drink
that?
the keg. Oh man,
Yeah.
life.
You did that? Break it down. Break down the scenario.
What do you mean
And
a
how many other
scenario?
black people were around?
Right.
No, it was a white party. They don't do that
That's
at black
what,
parties.
Duh.
that's what I'm saying.
At black parties, they had the jungle juice. There's always a
Mhm.
big
Yes.
tub of juice, and sometimes there could be like some shit in there that shouldn't be in there.
Mhm.
Like you got to be careful with that jungle juice sometimes.
The Everclear.
But like,
Oh,
I was like, white people parties is so much more funny than black people parties.
Don't do
Like
that. Don't do
I
that,
had
man.
no, like, this is the first time like I like every time like I chucked something, it was definitely white party. Like they had the whole wine bottle and they had like a tube, and you just pour the shit in the funnel and you drink a whole
Mhm.
bottle in like one go. It's like, yeah, it's just the science. If you put it at an angle and you just drop it in there, you can take the whole bottle like in 30 seconds. Like
wow.
they always had all these different type of tactics to get
They also
fucked up like very quick.
just always
They
had
had
the
fun.
money for this stuff. Like, how did they have money for an ice luge at like 19, 20 years old at some of these frats?
Mhm.
At white frats and then black frats, like you said, drinking out of a one tube, one cooler's worth of jungle juice.
Mhm. I have seen that. I've done that before. The ice luge, like, that was some new shit I had never seen. Like, where they pour the shot down, and you got to get under the shit and, like, take the shot. Like, that was at
Mhm.
Western, when I was at Western at the tailgate, and it's like it's an experience
Ice
that I love
luge.
to have.
I
You
Yeah,
had
did it
ice
in
in there,
Ann
or
Arbor.
in Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
I'm about to go
well, how
back to
does that work?
college. This just sounds
You
fun.
put the ice in it. Like how does the ice luge work?
It's like an ice sculpture. Like, it's a sculpture, but it has, like, I don't know. I think they're set up differently, but the one I had, it
You're
was like,
sipping liquor out of an ice sculpture.
yeah, they
Yes.
pour it from the top and then they go all the way down, and then you got
What
to
the
catch it from the
fuck?
bottom. Pause.
What kind of
Um,
party? That sounds amazing. Like I would
yeah,
love to
that's what I'm
have that.
saying. That's what I'm
And
That's
saying.
what
I'm
I'm
sure
saying. White people parties be crazy. Like black people don't got none of that. Only thing it be doing is niggas mad at you for stepping on shoes. Like I'm good on that.
You got to get out of the way for strolling like every 15 minutes.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Raj, you might be on to something. I ain't gonna lie. You might be on to something. I remember. I might have to cut this part out though, because I don't know if Jermayne want this out there. But remember that night at Secrets? Was that you? Remember that night at Secrets when we got kicked out the line or something?
Tell me more. Some of those memories are very hazy.
It was your fault because you was turning up on people. At Secrets, it was me, Josh, you.
Where I was like kind of going off on like the bartender, like the bouncer.
Yeah, because we was in the line.
Yeah,
that was. I'm like, wow. I ain't never seen Jermayne do no shit like this.
You know what I remember is we did get in, but then I had to basically be like carried out. I don't know if you remember that. We got in. If it's the night I'm thinking about, we got in, but like I barely made it. And I remember the guy was like, "You're too drunk to go." And I was like, "No, I'm fine. I'm not drunk." Yeah, I do remember that night.
Oh my god! Have I told that story how I got kicked out that bar in South Carolina?
Nuh-uh.
Let me tell that story. So we was and when I remember I already told y'all about how when I first got there, what the Uber driver said about like we passed the prison, right? And then we was like, somebody was like, "Oh, is that a prison?" She was like, "Oh, no, that's where we keep all the monkeys." You know what I'm saying? So that was my first experience in South Carolina. So I had already
Why did you go to South Carolina in the first place?
So actually, one of my homeboys, he from MSU, he moved down there just for work. So we were just visiting him. But so that was my first experience there. So like that already like kind of painted just my canvas of what South Carolina was gonna be like. So I think probably the next night or the second night there, we had went out to this. We was going all kind of places, but we just happened to step into this wine bar. Like it was real like upscale, dope and shit like that. But they also had a dance floor like over. Like in the corner, like by the entrance. What's funny yet? What's funny? Like,
yo, black ass got kicked out of a upscale wine bar.
Yes. Okay, let me keep going. Hey, let me keep going. So first off, it was this fire band, like this singer that was in here, which I still every time I open my Cash App, I have her name because I cashed up her like $10 because she was dope. I say that to say they had live music and the shit was jumping. Like they had a dance floor, and then like me and my homies went in there. We turned that bitch up. Like it's just like we was like, hey, like
what kind of music were they playing?
A wine bar. Let's keep this in mind.
No, but it was a black woman. I want to say it was an all black bar. So it was like some cool funky vibes, like R&B soul type shit. Like so, it was good music. Like it was good feel good music. So we was in there.
It was a black venue. Okay.
No,
I'm getting more information.
It was not. It was not. It was not.
It was a black band. That's what you're saying.
It was a black band. Everybody else in that motherfucker was white as snow. So we was in there. Like I said, we walked in. We turned up. Woo.
The staff. What were they?
White.
Okay. Got it.
So it got to
let the white people carry you out. No.
They kicked me out. So this is what happened. I guess we were just in there too turned up and like, cause like it's really a restaurant. Like it's tables right here with people eating, like right behind. Like it's a dance floor here, and right next to the dance floor is tables, like people eating and shit like that, like all around it. But we was just in there turning up, buying drinks. Hey, let me get. But then it got to the point where like they kicked out me and one of my homeboys, and like they kicked us out. And I was just like, man, what the fuck? Why y'all kick us out? Like I'm like one of the only black people in this motherfucker. So like we was outside, right? And after they kicked us out, and I was like mad as hell because I'm like, bro, like it's some racist shit. Like these crackers, like, I was saying all this shit too. I was like, man, these cracker, man, fuck all these, man, these motherfuckers be always hating on black people. Like, ooh, like I was doing all this shit, like just barking outside and shit. And I remember my homeboy had bought a wine bottle, and I was trying to steal the wine bottle from him because I was gonna throw it through the window. So I was like trying to like rip it from him. Like, give me the fucking wine bottle. I'm about to throw that bitch. But I couldn't get it from her. And that's how I got kicked out the bar. That was the only time I got kicked out.
And how old were you at that point?
This was like a year or two ago. Yeah, but
I ain't gonna
nah,
lie. I just got kicked out of a bar last week.
what? Nah, man. Okay, what happened? You got to tell the story now.
No, it's not even a good story though. Like I don't even know really. Like I don't know. I just got irritated. Like so in Texas is different in the bar. It's like you can smoke cigarettes inside of the bar.
What?
That's like out here. That's a big thing. So I was already irritated right when I walked in. So I sat down and they were playing a bunch of music, whatever. They had a DJ. It was at night. Good
Mhm.
vibes, stuff like that. There wasn't too many people in there. It was pretty quiet. So I'm getting drinks, whatever. I walk up to the DJ and I'm saying, "All right, put on some little baby." He just gave me that nod. It just was
Mhm.
like, cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, bet. Went to the bathroom, went back to the table, all that. I sit down and like a few songs go by. I'm like, he ain't playing it. I'm like, there's basically no one in here like that. Like, so I'm like, okay, he playing with me. So I walk back over there. I said, hey, bro, I thought I told you like I'm trying to hit little baby. Like he's like, well, like look at the crowd. I gotta play with the crowd in here. I'm like, I'm a
What's the
customer here, so
crowd?
I'm part of this crowd. So if I if I ask you to play something, I'm part of this crowd. Like play the shit. Like and I'm like, he was like, all right, cool. Like, all right, smooth. Walk back over. Got my drink. Things like that.
Mhm.
And I don't know. Overall, it was just like, bro was just playing. I'm just like,
Wait, but what
I
happened
don't
You
know.
though?
It
get
was
kicked
just
out though.
nah, because I was just like, hey, like eventually it was just like, man, you playing with me. Like,
Well, you tried
man,
to
I'm asking you to play some shit and like you not playing it. And it's like,
fight, bro?
I didn't understand. No, I wasn't trying to fight, bro. Just like I
He
start
thought you
really
were
having a
trying to fight him.
conversation. And
Yeah.
then, like, of course, other people inside they be like, they can see like there's a temperature rise, and they be like, hey, like, maybe you need to like, I'm not talking to you though. Like, I'm having a
But once you say
conversation,
that,
bro. Like,
you mad. You
like
mad when you say
exactly.
that.
Like,
I'm not even talking to you.
it's like when people start trying to
That's when
butt
they're
in,
like,
like, hey,
security.
yo. Like, yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not. That's not. We're not having a conversation though. Like, but you know that's what happened.
Why?
So
Man, kicked out over little baby.
This is what I don't understand about you, Rod. Like, obviously, you the only black person in there?
yeah, it was a Hispanic bar.
Why the fuck you? Come on, man. Like, why? Like, let's be for real. Like, throw the Bad Bunny on, like
No,
you know what
I
I'm
literally
saying?
told him
Like,
that. I was like, if you don't want to play Little Baby, I said I could have requested Bad Bunny. Why don't you just talk to me? Like, why don't you just say that? Like, why did I? It was just like I don't know. I didn't understand. I'm like requesting shit, and you just ignoring the shit. Like I'm not okay with that. Like you can talk back and forth. Don't just give me a head nod saying I'm gonna do that shit, and then you don't do
mm-mm.
it. Then I'll be
Low key.
irritated.
Like, I don't know why he just nodded you off. Like, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna play it." Like he wasn't gonna
Yeah, for
notice that.
sure.
Yeah, like notice that you
I
didn't play
got you.
Lil Baby. Like, nigga, I haven't heard
He's
Lil
like,
Baby yet.
okay, exactly. Like, man, there's
That's
about 30 people in here. Come on, bro.
I get it. I feel where you're coming from. But I don't even know how we got here. I don't even know. But I guess overall, what was the original topic? Shit, I forgot. Drinking culture. I don't know. We drink, we got drunk. All right. Anyway, let's get into some highlights, man, for today. So does anybody have anything they want to highlight?
Yes. So I've been going through this South African house kick. If you haven't checked out South African house, it is amazing. Like I just all the vibes, all the summer vibes. One artist in particular that I wanted to highlight is Russell Zuma. Zuma is spelled Zuma.
Mm-hmm.
He's super dope. I think a really good intro to that genre if you're not familiar.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in that. I'm gonna check that out as soon as we done. Okay, cool. Rod, you got anything for the people this week?
Something recently I saw on the gram. There's this artist called Brody, and there was a song called Pink Chanel, which I thought was really dope. This DJ had put in his mix. And it was a cool song. I think he's from California and kind of give that little bop and vibe. So make sure you go check out this new artist called Brody.
How you spell that for the people?
Brody, Brody.
Brody. Okay. Cool. Man, let me go ahead and shout out. Like, let's keep it on Detroit. You know what I mean? I love highlighting Detroit, even though I'm not from there. You know, like it's just a super dope city. So let's highlight Veeze, man. Veeze, I feel like he one of the dopest rappers out of Detroit right now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let me shout out Veeze, not a drill. And
Is
if you
it
don't,
V's or Vez?
no, it's Veeze. Yeah, it's Veeze. So yeah, if you listen to Not a Drill by Veeze and you don't get it, then you're just not gonna get Veeze. Like it's just you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like just catch the vibe. If you don't catch it, that's okay. But definitely check that out. Check out that Brody. And
Yeah,
check out
yeah.
that.
Definitely check out V's GOMD.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too. That's a good one too. Check out that South
If you want to
African
get on.
house too. You said Russell Zuma. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so check out that Russell Zuma as well, man, for sure. But other than that, man, if you made it this far, we definitely appreciate you. And this is the Friends Podcast, and we out. Peace out.
Stay up.
Love.